Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys how I took a 1 to 7 risk to reward trade on AUD USD. And I'm going to give you guys a full breakdown from start to finish and how I had a tough time with this trade, right? This was the biggest trade of the year for me. It was more than 75% reward for this trade. So this was the the largest of the positions, and then I had 5 total positions in total. All right. So let me give you guys a quick breakdown on how everything happened. So let me start. Let me go back to here. I do have these levels. So I was initially trading this level right here on the bottom. So it's about the 63, 64 range. 64 cents and 63 cents range right here on AUD. You see that it's respecting a lot. So there's a lot of buying opportunities here. So this was the first level that I was trading. Now this was the second level, and I have videos on the channel. I'll have the card right here on the top for these trades. This was one of the trades. This was the second trade. And so I just see that price of AUD going up and basically just looking for buy entries. And it's very, very simple. So if price drops, hits the levels of support, I enter for the trade. Boom. I find the right risk to reward. I find that if it's good, if it's bad. So as an example, this was a 1 to 5 risk to reward trade right here. And then this was another one, a 1 to 3 risk to reward trade as well. All right. So I just saw price basically acting. We had this break right here, and then we were basically reclaiming this 64-ish, 65 area right here. So my thought process for this was, let me wait for price to come lower and I'll enter for another position on AUD. All right. Um, the thing is, I made a huge mistake that most beginners make, and I still have like 4 years of trading. I still made the same mistake, which is not waiting. So here on the left, I have a support line right over here, and then I have another support line right over here. All right. So the smartest entry would have been right here, right? And then price was just acting up right here. Let me hit the play button. Price just acting it up, and I decided to enter for a position. Now, I was okay with holding the drawdown because I was not fully leveraged into the position, and I'll never be fully leveraged into the position. But here's what happened. I entered, so let me delete all of this. I entered my first position right over here, right? And immediately went to drawdown. Now, this is a high point in the market for me to be entering. The smartest decision would have been to enter right at 64. But the thing is, I decided to hold, okay? I already have enough cushion into my account that I didn't need to be stressed about having a drawdown position. So I decided to hold and entered the second position right over here. So this was, hold on, let me delete this one and then this one. So the second position was right over here based off of this area of reversal here. I decided to enter the second position. Now, remind you guys, these two over here are two entries. I decided to enter twice. So I put two positions here and then the third position right over here. Okay, so now let's go to the fourth. Fourth position was when I hit prices started to move higher a little bit. So I decided to enter for my fourth position right over here. This was the fourth. And again, these are all in drawdown. I have not closed the trade yet. I'm just seeing red, 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 red. And I don't remember the total amount I was in drawdown, but I was pretty uncomfortable holding red position for days. So remind you guys, this was the first entry, and then this is 2 days later. Okay, now let me hit the play button again. This. And then we move higher a little bit. I'm still in drawdown. And then we finally hit the area that I'm looking for. Okay, we finally hit the 64 area I was hoping that we would hit. And I finally wait a little bit more for the perfect entry on the market. Now, if you were paying attention to this and you were smart enough, you wouldn't have basically held a position from this high all the way to the low. And my advice is, if you're looking at the market dropping, you should close your position and not. Now this is the time of my entry. It's literally right on my buy zone here that I have, ridiculous buy zone. So I put an entry, I put the stop loss. Now I was my whole thought process for this was, I'm going to dollar cost average into my positions. If it goes higher, it goes higher. And I'm okay with losing, let's just say, a third of my account on this, because I already have enough, like a huge cushion on my account. Okay. So I decided to enter for the fifth time on one trade, still going for buys. I entered the buys here. Now, this whole move from this high to this low, I'll give you guys a very quick tip. This is all fundamentals. This is all just news, right? This was Trump announcing something. This was war. This was all just news. So the market dropped into the area that was the perfect area for you to enter for a buy. And you can't be scared if you know that the price of the asset is going to go up, or the currency, or whatever it is. You know for a certain fact that it's just news, it's just fundamentals. Okay. So after this, look what happens. I already had the target in mind, which I wanted to hit, and I was just waiting a couple more days for the take profit to be hit. All right. This was basically, I just put this as an average take profit. But I exited a couple positions around the 70s. So exited like two positions around here. No, 6, 7, around here. This was like, I would say 1/3. Yeah, I would say 1/3 of positions hit the take profit. And then this was the 2/3 right over here. So 2/3 take profit. And that was it. And I was done for the trade. These were small, like probably 1% each. So these two positions was 1% win. So these were not worth the wait for literally 4 days. These were not worth waiting for 4 days. But this trade right here was totally worth waiting the 20 hours that I took the entry. Okay. So this was it for just give you guys some tips, some advice. If the market is dropping, don't enter for a position like I did. I would never recommend you do this, but I have a very high risk tolerance, and a very high, a good cushion in my account. But I do not recommend for you to do this. But this was the perfect and most perfect trade of the year. I just waited out. If I had just waited out, I would have tripled my position size for the trade and probably would have made back enormous amounts of money. Okay. So this is it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.